Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. Thank you for giving me the extra day to get ready for this because I just had a bad sinus headache yesterday and I just could not do it. But anyway, I do feel some better today, so thank you for being patient with me. What we're going to do this week is we're going to continue to work on the um, essay about technology. So I have put the document up here again just for us to kind of review based on, you're going to be writing based on what you've read in Our Future Selves on page 241 in your textbook. And if you've read that, and I hope you have, it is full of ways that technology will benefit us in the future. And so they just go on and on with example after example. So what you will want to do is to pick one, either um, according to the writing prompt here, you'll want to have a thesis-based essay explaining how technology has changed the way people think, or how technology has changed the way people live, or how technology has changed the way we interact um, with others. And so you're going to just take one of those three possibilities. It says choose one specific aspect, that's one of those three, and use information from the essay to support your claim. You only need to have 2 points, but you can have 3 points. And we talked last time about um, putting the making sure that your thesis statement is the last sentence in your introduction. And I have not had a chance to look at any of your introduction paragraphs yet, but I'm assuming that they were done correctly. So we talked about how to do the introduction paragraph. But what we're going to continue to do now is that now that you have your thesis statement set up, with which aspect of life you were going to take, think, live, or interact with other people. And then you were going to point out two examples of this from the textbook. And so I have given you a sample essay to look at here. This was from last week also. Set up in correct MLA format. So you want to make sure that you have your MLA format correct. And you want to make sure that in your introduction, you give your readers what they need to know. Who wrote this? What is the name of it? What is it that it was all about? The reading, Our Future Selves. And then you're going to have a thesis statement that that spells out the 2 points that you want to make. So even though this essay is a totally different kind of essay, it is still in MLA format. It still has thesis statement at the last. It still has topic sentences that you can follow. And so the sample is here to help you with that. Also, the sample essay will help you with how to do in-text citation that matches your works cited page. For example, here, excuse me, I said here, people, in fact, according to the authors of How to Do gender as they are taught and as they wish to express themselves. And this came from Ferry and Wade and page 480. And notice the parentheses, the parenthetical citation has the author's last names and the page number from the book. So I know some of you were numbering pages from the document that I shared with you, but get the page numbers from your book. You can certainly use the essay that I put on, but find the page numbers where it is in your book. And then something else that you can get from this is you always want to, when you're getting ready to give information from the text, you always want to precede it with a signal phrase. According to the biographical information preceding their essay, according to the essay, Our Future Selves, according to the authors, so-and-so, anything that gives this attributive tag here, in other words, to let your reader know that it's not you, this is getting ready to be something from someone else. And so it needs that introduction like that. Then it needs to be properly cited. And let's see, let me get it here. So here I have Lisa Wade and Myra Marks Ferry. Now the quotation from the text that I used here did not have their first names. They only had Wade and Ferry. And that's why we have the brackets on here. Brackets mean I'm adding something or changing something in the quotation. So if you wonder why their names are in brackets like that, it's because I put them there because I added them to the quote. Demonstrate that gender roles are flexible, subject to culture, context, and even individual preference. They explain how views of gender are influenced by American culture, how one learns the rules of gender, and how one sometimes breaks those rules. And that was from page 480. And notice it's quotation marks, right here, quotation marks, then parentheses with the page number in there, and then the period or the end punctuation for the sentence there. And these 3 dots in a row, these are ellipsis marks, and I use them anytime I leave something out of a quotation. So this is just to indicate that I got this sentence, I changed a couple of things, added things to it, and then I left something out, and then I used the rest of this, and anywhere I changed it or added something to it, I used the brackets. So ellipsis, you leave out something, brackets, you've added something or changed something. And then when you get, to the end, you will have as your last statement, and of course your thesis will be something different from this one because this was a different essay and a different kind of essay about the reading here. But your thesis statement will come last, and it will spell out that the authors show in their essay how they show in their essay how technology has affected the way we live, the way we think, or the way we interact with other people. You're going to pick one of those. And you're going to mention 2 of those ways in your thesis statement. And then when you get ready to do your body paragraph, you're going to have a topic sentence that is about one of those ways that you mentioned in your thesis statement. So one rhetorical strategy that Ferry and Wade used to demonstrate the flexibility of gender is anecdote. That's not our assignment. Yours would be one way that technology affects the way people interact with each other is blank, and you would fill that in. And then that's your topic sentence. So then the rest of your sentence, your paragraph is going to be about whatever that point is that you're making. And you're going to go to the text and pull in textual evidence that backs up what you're saying. And then when you're finished with that, you go on to your next paragraph and say, another way that technology affects the way we communicate with each other is through something or another, whatever it is, whatever your second point is. And then you're going to bring in textual evidence for that as well. You only have to have 2 points for this that you're going to make in this essay. If you want to do 3, you certainly can, and then you'd have 3 body paragraphs. And then when you get your body paragraphs together, you are ready for your conclusion paragraph. And the conclusion paragraph is just the same as the, is the exact opposite actually of the introduction paragraph. But when you get, and we'll look at that in just a minute, but when you get through with this concluding paragraph, insert your page break so that the works cited goes to the next page. This is author's last name, comma, first name, comma, and the second author, first name, last name. That's normally the way we see it, but the first name over here, whichever way you put them in there, last name first, comma, and first name last. How to do gender. Yours is, of course, our future selves. And then this part is directly from our book, the way it is now. This is our 11th edition book. And then the only other thing you'd have to change is the page numbers here. I think our future selves starts on page 451. So anyway, so that is there. To look at that sample essay, you can look at that and see how that goes. There's also this document that serves kind of as an outline, but also it serves like a, I'm going to move this over here. I think that's better. But it gives you how to revise, how to go back and fix some things. But if you haven't even constructed the thing to begin with, you may want to use this too as your outline. Here is what goes in the introduction. Here's what you need to cover. I've given you some templates for this that you can just kind of use it and fill in the blanks there. And then here is your thesis here at the end, according to Cohen and Schmidt. I can't ever remember that guy's name. Cohen and Schmidt. Technology greatly affects the way people live by blank and blank, or think by blank and blank, or communicate with each other by blank and blank. And so you're just going to pull from the text, you're going to pull information that illustrates what they're saying about technology and how we communicate. Pick one of those 3, not all of them. And then here's your body paragraph, what needs to go in there. One way technology has affected the way people think or live or communicate with each other is blank. And then give at least one example from the essay you are writing about from our thing, how our future selves. And then be sure to quote it or paraphrase it correctly. Use parenthetical citation, in-text citation. of the page number where the illustration occurs. And you can see that sample how to do gender because I showed that. Remember this quote pair punct quotation marks, then your parentheses with the page number in it, then your end punctuation, the period, comes after the quote, like that. And then, of course, give your commentary. So you want to explain to your audience how the illustration of technology ties into the choice that you're writing about, interaction with people. You're going to have to spell it out for your reader. Don't make them try to figure it out and on their own. Tell them, I'm teaching you to write so it's easy for somebody to read. So don't leave it up to them to try to figure things out. Just tell your readers what's what. You want to follow this pattern for each body paragraph. Your topic sentence, introduce what the way is that you're going to write about. Give the example from the text cited properly, and then your commentary on it. And if one, I put up here, if give another example. If you find 1, 2 examples, make the point better than one. So now, and like I said, you can have 2 paragraphs, 1 point, another point, or if you want to have more than 2, you can, but you need to list them in your thesis statement and you need to make them the topic sentence of your body paragraphs. And then when we get to the conclusion, after you do your body paragraphs, you want to restate the thesis, not word for word, but in words that mean about the same thing. You can see the sample essay that I wrote about how to do gender. I started out with snips and snails and puppy dog tails, and then I kind of brought it back around to the snips and snails thing at the end of the paragraph. But the point was in my sample essay is that gender roles are flexible. So I had to say the same thing here. And then you want to remind your audience of the ways that technology has affected people. You don't want to bring in all the specific details you did in your body paragraphs. Just remind them what they are. If you could give 1 sentence to each of your points, that would be sufficient. And then the last sentence should give your reader something to think about with a deeper understanding of where you started. And if you could bring it back to that attention getter to end your essay, that would be great. That's a great way to wrap up a conclusion paragraph. The works cited page, I've provided you with an example. Here it is again right here, the example of something from our textbook. It would look like that. All you have to do is replace the author, the title, and the page numbers down here. The rest of it is the same. You want to, once you get through with your essay, it's going to be 2 pages, so it does not have to be, it's not a long essay. But when you get it all together, you've finished with your conclusion paragraph and you've decided that this is the way that you're going to put it back. This is the way that you're going to end. You want to make sure that your works cited page is done correctly and that the citation that is made there is correct for you. And then I want somebody else to look at it. I'm going to look at your introduction paragraphs and your thesis statements. I'll put comments on those, but I want somebody else besides me or you to look at this essay after you've finished it, because it should be easy to read, it should be easy to follow, and that's what I want somebody else to look like. So on the page, on our Moodle page, I have information here about, I still can't get this thing centered. There we go. Um, that I have how to submit something to Smart Thinking. Smart Thinking is an online tutorial service, and if you'd rather work with someone from the English studio, you can set up an appointment to work with them by clicking on this, and they'll tell you what you need to do to have someone look at your essay. They'll want you to send them your assignment sheet as well as your essay so that somebody can help you with that. And that can be done on campus or it can be done virtually. It just depends on what appointments are available and if you want to come up to campus or if you'd rather just do it virtually. Or you can submit it to Smart Thinking, and then when you submit it to Smart Thinking, when you get the information back from them, then you want to put your feedback in this journal. So the graded assignment for this week is finish up your rough draft, submit it to Smart Thinking, and then click into your journal here and post the feedback. For the English studio, you're just going to have to write it up what the tutor helped you with and how it was helpful to you. The Smart Thinking, they'll actually send you back written feedback that you can then paste into the journal. So that is a lot of stuff to be aware of, but it's a short essay, and you should be able to finish this up without any real problem this week and get it submitted to Smart Thinking. Do your journal, and then next week we're going to be just working on polishing it up, doing the revisions, and then it'll be due the 27th, that Sunday after next. So that is the information here. If you want to, let's see, how to submit to Smart Thinking. If you're having a problem with any of that, you can let me know. But here it is right here. You see that? It looks like a little falling star there. That's the Smart Thinking. When you click on it, you will get something that looks like this. And if it asks for a sign-in, you just log in the way you do to your Moodle page or your email. And it will recognize you. See, it says Deborah. You can't see that, but it says Deborah up there. So it recognizes me. You want to log in as a student. And mine just went on through, but if you have to fill it out about logging in, it's just your normal sign-in, how you would normally sign in. And then you would go up to the top, and you want to go to Writing Help. You want to go to the Essay Center. And then you're going to type in, it's going to recognize who you are, but you're going to type in, English 111. Your writing title could be the title that you gave your essay. It could be Core Project 1, whatever. It's just so you can go back and find it later, whatever you name it. And then provide your assignment description. And I have given you on one of these documents all right, that's the original thing. Let's look at this one. Yes, I gave you the actual words to use there. So you can just copy this. And then on your submission where it says to describe your assignment, you can just paste that in there. because this is all the things they'll need to know. They need to know. So I fixed that for you. All you have to do is copy and paste it in there. Then you can select 2 areas in which you need help. You can, I suggest main idea and thesis, and maybe content development. You can choose any 2 that you want to, and you can send it back into Smart Thinking as many times as you want to and choose different things next time. But I think these will probably be the most helpful to you right now. You want to leave this as first available, and then you want to choose your file. It cannot accept anything except MS Word, ends in .doc or .docx. It can receive plain text files that are just .txt or rich text format, which is RTF. It will not read Google Docs, and it will not read PDF forms. So when you get ready to choose your file, you'll just go back and find your file, wherever it is. Go to my downloads and see if I got files here. I've got a lot of files from different students. And so say that this is the file that I want to put in there, and I open it, and it says, it'll say it right here. It is uploaded now, and then all I have to do is preview and submit it over there. So that is pretty easy to do, and then they'll send you the information back, and you can take a look at it and paste it into the journal. So if you have any questions while you're working on this, contact me. I will be glad to help you. But I think it's self-explanatory. It's don't make this harder than it is. Use the get help if you need it, but don't try to make this something harder than it is. You are not to bring in any other materials except the essay that we read, Our Future Selves. So let me know if you need any help, and I'll be in touch, and I'll see you next time.